there's been so much power, I think, that's come from social media, but I also think there's been a little bit of a negative underbelly to the social media game, because I think it does breed comparison. And I think sometimes the comparison is what makes us feel lonely, because, you look at, a guy like you, for example, or the story of how we met is that I did a spin club. We have a spin club at Signature. So I did spin club one morning and everyone's posting their photos on Instagram. And I saw a collab between you and Jazz Takar from the REC team at Signature. And I clicked on your name and I clicked on the podcast and I was like, oh my gosh, she has 16,000 followers. Like, I don't even think I have 2,000. Like, I'm not even anywhere close to that. And I thought, oh, I need to get more follow. I want to be more, active on social. And sometimes I think I have a pretty healthy definition of who I am. I think I've done a lot of work on myself. So I've kind of been able to battle that comparison. But some people may look at you and they may say, oh my gosh, he has all of these followers. He's so lucky. I don't have followers, so I'm not lucky, or I can't be successful because of this or because of that. And so I think the loneliness in this business is also, unfortunately, made worse sometimes because of social, and because it allows us to kind of tell a story in our heads about what we think is going on with somebody else, even though we don't really know. I didn't know a lot about you when I saw your podcast. We've gotten to know each other now, which has been great. But I mean, for all I know, you've done 3 deals last year. Like, I have no idea, right?
No, it's very true.
So I think the loneliness is such a challenge when it comes to social, because I think they go hand in hand a little bit. At least that's what I hear from my people. My people will come in and, men and women will come in and they'll shut the door and they'll say, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm like, sure, what's wrong? And they're like, I had a guy come in yesterday, great guy, been in the business 7 years, does between $250,000 every year, very healthy business. And he came in yesterday and he sat down in front of me and he said, I don't feel like I deserve to be successful.
Oh, wow.
And it was like 9:25 in the morning, Matt. So I'm like, man, I haven't even had a second coffee. Okay.
A half hour too early.
A little bit, right? This should be 9:30 p.m. But we're going to get into it, right? We're going to talk about it. And it was just a great moment to be able to share with him. But that's the kind of situation you encounter when you feel lonely. And he's new to me. He just hasn't been at Signature that long. And so we're, again, getting to know each other. But I think this concept of loneliness is big in our business. And I think it's important we talk about it. And that's why surrounding yourself with success, I think, is so important. And why it matters so much to be around the right people.
I love that they can come and just sit down and say that to you.
Yeah. I mean, I really worked pretty hard, I think, at trying to create that kind of culture at Signature. Like, I want people to be able to come in and say, I'm struggling, or, I'm having a hard time, or I had this great thing happen to me, or I need to talk to you because I trust you. Like, we really have worked very hard at trying to build that culture.
Yeah. I mean, for a grown man to come down and say that is trust.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a trust thing.
Yeah. They trust me.
Yeah.
They trust me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, to everyone out there, I think you need to share a lot more,
Very much.
How you're feeling. Don't be scared. Find the people closest to you that you can trust and confide, because if you block that shit up, it's going to eat at you.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So let's continue with this topic for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch on one more thing. We spoke about it too, and I think, again, super important, and a lot of people can resonate. It's being a single mom in real estate.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Kind of what we talked about a little bit yesterday too, on that notion of balance. Mm-hmm. I got a divorce during COVID. I can't remember, there was that meme or it was like Pelotons and puppies and something else was like rampant during COVID. And I was like, yes, so we're babies and divorces. So I got a divorce during COVID, which was like a super painful experience.
Yeah.
And something you work through for sure. But for me, being a single mom with my kids in this business is, interesting, because I think there's a lot of ways that you can take your business being, a realtor. You have flexibility, and you have the ability to build something that's authentic to you, which I think is pretty cool. But I think as a single parent, you're always kind of worried about, are you doing enough? Are you doing a good enough job? Are your kids okay? Like, I feel like it's a constant thought process that I'm not sure parents that are married may have. I don't know. I can't remember. But for me, that's one of the things that I think about a lot. And this business really gives me the opportunity to build something that is kind of mine outside of just being a mom and trying to run around and raise kids and do everything else. And for you and I know I asked you that question. I said, tell me about what it was like when you were growing up as a single mom. Did you feel like you didn't get the same opportunities because your mom was on her own?
There's definitely a piece of me where a comparison, me as a kid. Just like, oh, I wish I had the family. I wish I had like the brothers and sisters. I wish I had the...
Are you an only child?
Yeah, I'm an only child.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So it's a whole thing paradigm I had as a kid in my own head. And like that led to like a confidence thing. Like people see me now and who knew me then, completely different.
Yes.
Right?
And so what did that look like? How did that path kind of...
Oh, I was really shy.
Yeah.
I played a lot of sports, but I didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I found the other shy kid on the team and speak to him. And we'd just be shy together and not maybe say like one word together.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 words in the whole year. And then I was like always a skinny, scrawny kid. No self-confidence at all, no self-worth. And then grew up in a basement apartment with my mother. And I just never understood the financials. So I was always comparing to like, wow, we live in Vaughan. All my friends have houses. Why are we in a basement? So I was like embarrassed to take my garbage out because if someone saw me coming out the side of the house, it was like, oh, this guy lives in a basement. You know, haha. All these things in my head.
Kids are terrible.
All these things in my head that I just like, they weren't even a thing. It was just my own thought processes and beliefs and limiting beliefs. And I had to break through all that. And then I ended up using my entire childhood and setup as fuel to like, that's my why. I want to buy my mom that house in the future. I want to buy my dad his dream car, things like that. So yeah, I use it all as fuel now, which is awesome.